Hello Tubesters, welcome to another one of Gav's videos. Today it's another Workbench update. I've got a few tales of woe to tell you. I've been doing the usual 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. I've chucked most of what I'm doing on tea trays here just so it's easier to handle and let you have a see. I've been doing a fair bit on my 28mm and I've had a couple of setbacks with those. Some of it my own making. ABs are going along well for the commission. I'm down to the last knockings really with those now. I've done a few 10mm because I was so peed off with my 28mm, and obviously my ship's still got to be rigged yet, and hopefully that'll be done soon. And I've also made some progress on the 1:35 scale diorama at last, or vignette, whichever we decide at the end it is. So if you'd like to join me at the Workbench, we'll take a not so quick look and we'll go through what I've been doing over the last week or so. So I'll see you soon. Okay, thanks guys for joining me at the Workbench, and we'll go through what I've actually been painting these last week or two. I'm just looking and seeing which to go for first. So let's go for the easiest type of stuff that's gone quite according to plan, which are these AB 18mm, well 15/18mm figures. These are obviously the part of the Saxon Commission. I'm sorry the light's not going to be fantastic on these, I bet. Let's see if that makes any difference. These are some Jaeger. All I've got to do with these is paint the edges of the bases black and obviously do all the flocking and that. Well, I've obviously painted the bases up so far. These are all the different skirmishing poses for this this division. I won't go through loads of them because they're basically the same. As in same uniforms, maybe just changing trousers, but not not a great deal of difference. So they're my Saxons. Obviously if I pan over here, let's see if it works. That's a regiment of foot that's also complete. I've got on another tray, which I'll show you in a minute, the Rechten regiment, which is yellow facings. As you can see, I've got the Nassaus in 28mm in front of me. So here we go. Let's see if we can these are the Grenadiers in the Colpacks. I've just got to do, I believe, yeah, I've got to do the brass work on these guys yet. That's about, oh, and the you always find something else, and the loop for the sword handle. So that's a Grenadier. Again, I'll just go through the odd little bits. Let me see, some things I haven't shown you already. Not sure if I've got this this NCO, this corporal. Thoroughly enjoyed painting these. They're a nice green to paint. The yellow works quite well with them. I've got this drummer still to just finish off the hoops. Do the dog's teeth, which are blue in this case. If you remember, I had another drummer earlier on which I've done with a white Chateau cover, or off-white. This guy's in the standard black oilskin one. I've really enjoyed painting them. It's been a nice, well, I enjoyed painting them until I tell you about the tale of woe. You can see his face particularly good there. Now, the problem I've had, and it started with the Württembergers, which of course have to be on another tray, so I'm doing this a bit arse about face really. But the problem I had was, when I bought this off Front Rank, it's a, these pre-made battalions, you just buy them, slightly cheaper. He's a light infantry guy, so if you can see the green wings on his shoulders there. Now, when you buy them, they come with 2 colour bearers. Let me dig them out. Got this fella here. And where's his Mara? And of course, oh, there he is. He was right next to him. Right, here we go. And there's his Mara. He's got a sword for a change. I'll bring him a bit close. I'll put this one down as you've just seen him. I'll give you a squiz at him. Now it's got 2 colour bearers. Well, unfortunately, all the references I've got, I mean, Nassau, my Rawkins, which I use for my painting guides the most, they've got 1 colour bearer. So I've got a regiment here I can't blooming use because, well, not use, I mean obviously I'm selling them on, but I don't want to sell, I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to sell something with 2 colour bearers, so I'm going to have to send off to front rank and get a separate figure and paint another figure. So that was a bit of a bummer really, because as you know I was going to get all these ready for, so I've got probably about 5-6 units of Napoleonics ready to sell, and I don't want to do it till they're all together. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, because as far I can't see any other info, even the ones other people's pictures I've seen online, they've you know, they've all got more or less the same 1 colour bearer. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. So back to the drawing board with that one. So join me in a second. I'm just going to switch over. Oh, just in case anybody's wondering, I should have shown these as well. I think I've shown this before. This is a water mill from Battle Scale, solid cast resin. I've been waiting because I'm going to get some river sections off Timecast. And there's your water wheel. Goes on the side. Here's a bit of rigging. Rigging rat lines for the ship I'm doing. They've got to go on, and I'm going to give these a separate video to themselves when I've done the other regiment. But I was so peed off with all my 28, my woes with my 28mm. I've actually knocked out a regiment of Jacobite cavalry and almost completed a regiment of Jacobite foot. So you'll see those on the video in a minute. But I will do a separate video for those, you know, just to give you a bit of a run through on the regiments themselves. But that's for another day. So join me in a minute, guys, when I just swap these over. Right, guys, thanks for joining me back at the desk. Another tea tray in front of us. Now, this is what started all my tales of woe off. These are my Württembergers. You can see they're all based, and the whole unit's based, and I was just ready to mount the colours. Now, this one is my own fault. I bought this as a separate regiment. You know, I made the figures up myself in, you know, what I wanted. And I went online. I read all about, you know, who obviously they use. And the other thing I should have said about the Nassaus as well, they're depicting officers carrying the colours. Well, for all that I've read, they were NCOs like most of the German regiments, because although Nassau was part of the Dutch, you know, the Netherlands, it was a German, I believe, a German-speaking area, and they seem to have followed the German ones of having NCOs carry the colours. Obviously, in the British Army, ensigns carry the colours. French Army, obviously the same. But in a lot of the Germanic armies, it's senior NCO that carries the colours. Obviously, I've got 2 there, and there was only 1. So now I've got the heartbreaking thing of taking one off the base. I had actually got a spare already primed up. So what I'm going to do with him, if I can actually get this camera angles working right on I'm going to actually do him as a complete tutorial. Hopefully not as rancid as the Italian one turned out to be. I might either try and shoot it all in one video and try and speed it up and just voice over it. If I can't do that, it might have to be a section of videos, but nothing can shift now on this unit until I've got this figure changed over. As far as I've read up, the Württembergers, when they came over to the coalition in 1813, I believe, they were said to have carried two colours, but these are for an earlier time period, so I'm a bit stuffed with that, I think. So let's have a look at something else. Here we've got another 18mm AB with some red ticking trousers. Thought red would go better with a yellow. He's one of 2 regiments I've got left. The client asked for 2 extra regiments, and I've got a third. I think I've just got the command group to do now, and then I can start on that last one. Here are some mounted divisional officers. There's the odd touch-up still to be done on these, not a great deal though, and they should be mounted in the next day or so after varnishing. I've got to do the mains on the tail on this one, and the main and the tail. These Saxons had a silver sash for the main officers with little flecks of scarlet in it. I won't go through them all, I'll do you one more, or maybe 2. Pride in our work, eh? But hang on a second, I just don't want to knock my camera over at the same time. I'm filming at an odd angle here to get my tea tray in. But yeah, there's another one. So there's couple of little tiny touch-ups to be done on them, but not a great deal. Now I've got the Corps Command still to paint, but I'm leaving that literally as a sign-off of the entire commission, which, as you guys know, has maybe taken a year. The Corps Commander will be done last, just so I know that everything's been put to bed on that commission. Let's have another look. What else have we got to show you? We've got the Lord Louth's, say that when you've had a drink, Lord Louth's Jacobite Foot Regiment. There's a command. Still got to work on this still. They're in the French off-white. I do these, the different Jacobites, there's a bit of a difference, and they would have been a bit different with the different colours. Some of the white I do more of a brighter white, some a lot darker in the recesses. This one I've gone about halfway really, mainly with silver grey. There's a sky grey as a base, and lots of redheads there. And they've got their matchlocks. Got a pike group there. I never put the pikes on until I've actually got them on the base, so that the pike can actually sit to the base and be glued in. I tend to find that's a more stable way of putting the pikes on. I'll have these guys in the front rank and the other guys at the rear. And again, obviously the poses vary anyway, but I also vary packets of soldiers. I don't always use the same ones, just to give a bit of variety. And then I've got these buildings which I've shown before, and they've been waiting in a box to have something done. These are cork floor tiles that I cut up, and a bit of an experiment really. I haven't done any basing of these buildings before. As you guys all know, I tend to paint and sell on more than I ever actually do anything with my own stuff. So this is one project I'm determined to get to the end of. So I've got a whole host of buildings to base, and these 3 are the test figures really. I've got the two cottages there, and this cattle buyer. I try and make the bases non-standard squares, if that makes sense. I tend to find as well, so far this cork hasn't bowed. It's because it's got that bit of a like varnish thing on the top. It seems to take everything quite well, so I'm happy with that. And I did mention, if I can get these in, I did mention me trees I'm making. So these are they. These are my 35, 1 in 35 scale figures. This is the larger of the two. I wouldn't worry about what you see in the bits of black and everything showing through at the moment. What I intend to do with that, hopefully this weekend, is to actually spray them up with my my airbrush, coat them completely in a different green, and then and put a a highlight green on top, and then probably even do a bit of dry brushing as well. So there's progress at last with the diorama stroke vignette. Once I've got, I always said, once I've got the trees, they were almost, those in the figures were obviously dictating what I wanted out of the diorama itself. Where I was going to put hilly bits, rocks, whatever you want to say. So no, I'm glad I'm finally getting to the end of those trees, because I must have made a forest in trying to get to what I actually felt was right. So thanks a lot for stopping by and listening to me ramble on. Cautionary tale, where you can read up and read up again on your units that you want before you actually start painting them and basing them. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of heartache. And I do this for a living and I still cock up. So good luck with everything that's going on in your lives with your hobbies, and I will catch you again on another video. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers.